Welcome and good evening to HCS Core Planning Team. My name is Anael, Alston. I am proud to be the Superintendent of Schools. Before we begin, I just want to thank you all for giving your life to HCS. Oh yes, see, if you're giving up your time, what is life made up of? Time. So you're giving up a part of your life to dedicate towards it's okay. To dedicate towards HCS. So on behalf of the residents of this community, faculty, staff, students, I offer you a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for being on the strategic planning core team. By being on this team, you are assuming a leadership position, and everything rises and falls on leadership. That's why this work is so important. The work of this committee can impact HCS for years to come. Wanted to take a few moments this evening really to provide context for why we're all here. Basically, we're all here because we care. Be it personally or professionally, for the good of the community or all of the above, we care. By any standard, HCS is a top school district. Our students get into the top colleges. Our FFA students compete and rank nationally. We offer an array of electives that to our students that most districts this size can only dream of. Last year, we had a remarkable 100% graduation rate, almost unheard of for a public school that doesn't skim off the top. We have regionally and nationally recognized faculty, and everyone from the night cleaner to the long-standing teacher really cares about this school. However, of course, something had to come behind that. There are a few things that are happening that are impacting our ability to maintain what we've become accustomed to at HCS. Historical context. We've had a merger study that was soundly rejected. Fine. I was downstate. Had nothing to do with it. HCS would rather do it alone. It's fine. Another factor, influencing factor, significant too. We've experienced declining enrollment that directly impacts our foundation aid. Here are some sobering statistics. 2006 and 2007, our K-12 enrollment was 659 students. 2015, 2016, our K-12 enrollment was 538. And this year, our K-12 enrollment on January 4th is 517. So in 10 years, we've lost 142 students, or 21.5% of our aidable population. Now what do I mean by aidable? I'm not counting pre-K because our foundation formula in New York State doesn't count pre-K. So I'm just looking at it from a numbers point of view. That is a decline. Declining enrollment calls for close examination and even change. Here are three things that I've come to know about change. But, if I may, I want to share a little bit of story first. Yeah? Can I share a little bit with you?
Yes.
Lighten up, folks.
Yes.
Can I share a little bit with you? Lighten up. Give me a little light. Give me a little light. Just so everyone can see. Oh, go ahead, Dan. Well, you're working. Oh, by the way, can we give Dan Raines a round of applause? Dan is volunteering to do a lot of work for no pay. No, he's doing his internship, and that's great. Whoa. All right, that's fine. Robert Redford. I've always liked Robert Redford. As a little boy, that's when this movie was out. The Way We Were. Raise your hand if you have a clue what I'm talking about. Very good. Kevin, you don't? No. All right, fine. Robert Redford, when I was a little boy.
No, I know Robert. The Natural.
Okay. Well, there was a movie, The Way We Were, and it was really good. Okay? All right. So, I, as a little boy, really liked Robert Redford. And the movie, The Way We Were, really moved me. So, growing up in Brooklyn, I was like, I want to be like him when I grow up. But there's some things I can do. I got control of them. I can get a red tie, right? I can wear a decent shirt, and I even have a jacket like that. But there's some things I can't change about myself, right? So, what does this have to do with change? Change, when confronted with change, very few people like change. I'm going to give you an example. Much as I like Robert Redford, if I came to work tomorrow and said, hey, Johanna, how you doing? Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
And I am really living my Robert Redford, if you think people go straight to the board now, the boards, their phone be ringing off the hook. They'd be like, there's something wrong with this guy. But that's change. Many people would feel uncomfortable. Sean, how would you like it if I showed up to a meeting and with my Robert Redford look, because I really admire him and I'm dressed like him, how would you feel about that?
More power to you.
Yeah. Okay. Even if your kid was in school. You would be somewhat uncomfortable with the superintendent who walks around with the blonde wig thinking he's Robert Redford. Okay, let's agree to that.
Perhaps.
You'd have some questions, wouldn't you? People would be uncomfortable. In fact, I'm going to do the rest of this presentation with this wig on. See how comfortable you are. No. So that's one thing we know about change. When confronted with change, people tend to not like change. Here's another thing we know about change. Change happens whether we like it or not. It's not optional. We also know change requires energy. Energy to resist change, or energy to work with change. Make it work for you. The last thing we know about change is our response to change. You can shut that off. I'm done with Robert Redford. Our response to change can lead to our growth or can foster grief. See, change itself is neutral. Change is neutral. It's our view of change that causes the emotional stir. So, we've got to take a look at where we are. Here's another thing we've learned about change and human behavior. Now, all of this is setting us up for change. Why are we here? We have to make some adjustments. We have to study HCS very closely and figure where adjustments need to be made. There are 3 times in general when people change. When you hurt enough that you have to change. You hurt enough, you have to change. This is the worst kind of change because you're doing it when it's late. Okay? For example, you go to the doctor says, listen to me very carefully. You will change your behavior in this area, and let's say it's, I don't know, pick a thing that's a vice for people. Could be drinking. You will change or you will kill your liver. You need to stop drinking. That's a pain. You are really in the crux of doing something. That's desperation. So, pain will help you change. Another time you can change is when you learn enough that you want to get better. You say, all right, what do you mean? You get a better idea. You get some insight. You learn you don't touch the stove because it's hot. How do you know that? Because you touched it before. So we know that we can learn. The other way you know, when you receive enough that you're able to do so. So resources, help, aid, support, wisdom, guidance. Someone can say, hey, don't touch the stove, it's hot, it will burn you, let me show you. So now you're getting resources and support to support that kind of change. All right? So our challenge as leaders, it's a real challenge because leaders see the need to make change before it hits you to crisis. So the leader does. And as leaders, we've got to look and see where we need to make adjustments. But we already know that most people don't like change. So unless you're in the crisis, people are going to be even more resistant. Why in the world should we change? Well, that's the way it is. So change itself is neutral. So to help us get a clearer picture of where we are and what we're going to do and help us build on our strengths, and maybe even help us grow in some areas, we have Donna Fountain from PLC and Associates, and Tammy Farrell, who's also not here tonight, but part of the team that has been working with us, from PLC and Associates to help us tap into our team intelligence. I'll tell you a little bit about PLC and Associates. been around for at least 25 years in New York State providing educational services. PLC is a company that you cannot apply for a job. It's interesting. They only recruit people based on their reputation as superintendents or administrators. So if there's a vacancy, there is no posting. It's who do we know that has this skill set that can come in and add value to our company. So without any further ado, please welcome Donna Patton from PLC and Associates.
So the first part of this core strategic planning meeting was very exciting and energizing, a bit overwhelming too. So there was a lot of different systems like theories talked about and a lot of heavy information, but it gave us a really nice foundation to be able to move forward and think about different elements of our community that will be impactful for the school, different elements of the school that we're really proud of, and also things that we want to be able to improve upon. So my hopes are that we're able to come together and use all of our collective wisdom and investment in this community to really work on this plan and make it really awesome.
I think tonight was an effective use of time. It helped the participants on the core planning team understand what the challenges and issues are for Hamilton Central. Clearly it was an open dialogue about what our strengths were and really what opportunities are in front of us. I'm impressed with the representation from the parent, administration, and community that are on the core planning team, and I look forward to the next 6 weeks and discovering more about how we can help.